Doug, all eyes on Turkey, and Europe's really desperate to get Turkish leaders on board. Is this a last-ditch solution from the EU?
Yeah, Europe's desperate. It comes down to that, and more specifically, Angela Merkel, who's been very much been seen as the leader on the migration crisis, or at least in trying to find a pan-European solution. She's desperate as well. Basically, there should not have been the need to have this summit in the first place. The only reason that Turkey now has to be meeting in what you called rightly at the outset of this show an emergency summit, the umpteenth emergency summit on this issue, is because there's been zero political will and zero signs of solidarity, just the opposite, on the part of the EU's 28 constituent members to come up with some sort of uniform, harmonized solution. We've said this time and again, and I know it gets tedious to hear it, but it's true. It seems that the more urgency that emerges with the crisis, the more we see these images of thousands of Greeks who continue to, refugees who continue to arrive by the Aegean in Greece and are bottled up literally in Greece, unable to move northward because countries have taken go it alone, every man for himself policies, putting up frontiers, closing their borders, starting with Austria. They set the whole thing in motion. That's the reason we're at this point right now. The EU came up with a plan last year to take in 160,000 refugees, and I said it a few weeks ago, and the numbers haven't gone up. Of those 160,000, less than 1,000 have actually been resettled, less than 1,000 of 160,000. And 160,000 itself is just a tiny drop in the bucket, you can argue. So yeah, now they're turning to Turkey. Why? Turkey has 2.7 million refugees on its soil. And the idea is to pay them, essentially, to bribe Turkey in order to give these refugees an incentive to stay put, not to come to Europe, persuade Turkey, cajole Turkey, do whatever you have to do in those meetings behind the scenes to make sure that Turkey prevents more migrants from coming in, that influx into Europe via Greece and up through that Balkan route, which we're now reporting is probably about to be closed, so that won't even be an option anymore. So yeah, it comes down to bribing Turkey, and as one opposition leader in Germany put it, and it really is, it's aptly summed up, it's no solution, this is a quote, to transform Turkey into a refugee prison operated by water Erdogan, that is, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the Turkish president, essentially becomes the warden with the key. He could keep the key in his pocket, he could give it to Europe, but he calls all the shots right now. And you don't really want to be hostage to Turkey in this situation.
And Erdogan has just said that he hopes his prime minister returns from Brussels with 3 billion euros, the 3 billion euros promised to Turkey. Now, Angela Merkel, she's still hoping for a European solution, but that's not looking likely.
Right now, if you look at it from Merkel's perspective, time, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again, time really is running out for Angela Merkel right now in the sense that she has been almost single-handedly holding up Europe's, her open door policy. She's been the only one basically trying to single-handedly put in place a solidarity, a solution that shows pan-European solidarity, and it hasn't been working. You have the spring coming when we know there's going to be a big jump in refugees, as there always is in warmer weather. You have all of those thousands and thousands arriving every day of refugees bottled up in Greece, enormous pressure on Greece, which is on the verge of implosion itself, under enormous pressure already to enact austerity, verge of recession, all of that. State elections coming up in Germany. This is what's interesting with Angela Merkel. Her policy was embraced last year with her open door policy when she said that she's going to basically take all the Syrians that need to come, that have to come into Germany from Hungary last year. People embraced that policy. They're not embracing it anymore. Now everyone sees refugees and migrants as a problem rather than as a potential opportunity, rather than as a cause to probably bang your heads together and try to come up with some sort of solution. Angela Merkel right now so far has not backed down. She's sticking to her guns because she does not believe there's any other solution short of a pan-European solution. She believes that you're fooling yourself to say otherwise, and that you would basically see in any other go-it-alone solution a total breakdown of Europe, a total breakdown of the passport-free travel zone known as Schengen, which already we're seeing. We already see Fortress Europe essentially back in place in many places with fences between Greece and Macedonia and Hungary and Serbia and even France and parts of Belgium. So that's the direction we're going in. Angela Merkel is right now racing against the clock.
Now, you mentioned France. What's France's role in all of this?
Manuel Valls has been very, very clear. The French leaders say they want a pan-European solution on migrants, but the Prime Minister himself says France never said come to France. He's at odds right now with Germany on the policy. He says he does not agree, France does not agree with any permanent quota distribution system for refugees. So really putting himself up against Angela Merkel's open door policy in that sense. You could say France has agreed to take 30,000 refugees over the next 2 years, 30,000 of the 160,000 already. You know what 30,000 is. It is a grain of sand on a very large beach. It's nothing.